Hi everyone and welcome to another episode of the Orochinagi Show. Today we're going to talk about the core values of the FGC and some physical and digital releases coming out. Plus, of course, a look through Twitter, probably some nice art and anything else that turns up on the timeline. So let's begin with the first one. Okay, what happened? It was on the Evo stream. They were showcasing Dead or Alive 6 and the two girls, which you may have recognized from Razer and other events and things, decided to kind of discuss the jiggle physics of Dead or Alive 6 and a bit of the old slap and tickle and having a bit of fun and joking. And then the stream was cut short. And people were like, what's going on? But nobody could see anything. And it turns out that the stream had been cut and the organizer of Evo, Joey Cellular, I'm not sure if I pronounced that right, posted this. Mr. Wizard, as we all know. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce the name. But yeah, he posted this on Twitter and I'm not sure if you agree, but then the tweet was deleted. And in fact, a lot of people started to criticize this in going to the extremes of making memes and so forth. So, what do you think? Well, as Mombot was posting afterwards, we were not allowed to see girls slapping each other and jiggling their parts, but we were allowed and we were presented with people ripping each other's faces off. Okay, in the first case we've got real people, and in the second case we have fantasy representations. So it's not exactly the same thing, but it does raise a couple of issues that we have with video games. What is well, interesting or maybe not interesting, but what's going on right now with Dead or Alive is that they have been pushing to show that Dead or Alive 6, whereas it started as quite a kind of fighter with a bit of titillation and fun, has now become a more serious fighter. Whereas Mortal Kombat has been always capitalizing on extreme gore and violence. So, which is harmful? Which should be banned? Which should be offensive? It's a bit of a topic, because we have to think about what is actually harmful, and this of course goes on to the topic of what effect video games and media have on people. So, you know, you have two girls up here and you've got all these advertisers. You might be able to, you know, understand that this doesn't represent basically the advertisers' values and how they don't want to, you know, have two girls with bits of how do we say, more private parts and more sexual content. Does that, you know, represent a bank, for example? Maybe that's not suitable to represent that, and therefore that's not the kind of thing we want on the stream. It's not professional, or it's not adult in a kind of mature way. So I can see how, you know, that can be removed from the stream. At the same time, you've got, okay, no sexual content, but then you've got gore and violence. You're like, well, how does that represent a bank? A bank's values and being professional and making money. Well, it's animated violence, it's not real. Okay, well, the two girls, were they being real? They were having a joke about jiggling physics and how it compares to reality. Yeah, that's quite a discussion, and I don't think I'm going to get to the simple answer just here. But as we were saying, and a lot of my students talk about this every year, you know, recently, just a few days ago, in fact, I think Oxford posted their results looking into the research about effects of video games and the aggression of teenagers, and they looking at what parents were saying and how parents were evaluating their children, they didn't really see a link between the violent games and the teenagers' moods. So I'm sure it's a lot more complex than that, but you know, it's going to be a continual thing. It's like, okay, hold on, right? Which one's harmful, sexuality or gore? You know, just in my opinion, I'd say really it's neither. As long as you have a good sense, a good common sense that has been instilled into you to understand the difference between reality and fantasy. The fact is, we play games, we buy media, we go watch films because we want to escape. We want to see things that are not real, that don't happen in real life. That's why we get a waifu. That's why we play games and rip people's heads off, because it's not real. And as long as we can differentiate between the two, then we should be able to continue real life and just continue shaking people by the hand and doing our normal kind of social things. The problem, of course, is when people go out after playing a particular game and then try to replicate what they've seen in the game. And that, of course, we've got sexual abuse, we've got people killing each other in very, very strange ways. And then, you think, of course, parents and concerned people go, well, look, it's the video game or it's the film that they watched. As I said, there could be a link, but the point is, if you've got good upbringing and you've got good values that have been, instilled in you, then there isn't one, hopefully. And that's all I'm going to say about that for now. I think, it's a continual thing. But so far, the studies are saying, no, it's pretty much okay for your average person. You're always going to have someone who's been affected more than others, and I think that's a more complex issue. So hopefully, in general, we're going to be okay. And as for this, yeah, I think it was a bit OTT, to be honest. I don't think it went. I don't think it was that sexual. And if we consider cultures, I don't think Japan was really that bothered. But I'm not going to generalize and say that I can speak for all of Japan. I can't. That's just silly to do so. So that wraps up the thing about core values. We'll probably see a few more reactions to that on the Twitter. And I know that. Yeah, a lot of people have been talking about it, which is good for Koei Tecmo. It's going to bring a lot of attention to their game, as it did with SNKHEROINES. A lot of attention, some of it positive, some of it negative, but in general, there's no such thing as bad press. So, yeah, let's move on. So, let's have a look. So, of course, it was Ash Crimson's birthday, and before that it was Shermie's birthday, so we had a lot of art about that. That was fantastic. If you want to catch up with that, you need to, of course, get on the old Twitter before it escapes down the old timeline. And of course it was Evo weekend, of course, so lots of lovely art there. So check out yeah, some weird things on Twitter as well, of course, but like I said, you can't generalize everyone. There are some people out there that don't go with the old flow. Sometimes good, sometimes bad, right? Okay, so here's our first bit of news about releases. So this is limited run games, and they specialize, of course, in publishing games in a limited run. What a shocker that is. And one of the shockers is that this is King of Fighters 97 Global Match. It's actually going to be released by these lovely guys February 22nd, 2019. And it's on the Vita as well as the PlayStation 4. Why is this particularly of note? Well, if you know anything about the PlayStation Vita, you'll know that they are basically stopping producing games for it. And if you know anything about the Vita, you do know that it's a great little console. Unfortunately, it just hasn't really, been able to compete with the 3DS. It's, there are various reasons for that, as usual, but it's just the way it is right now. They're not going to produce any more games for it. So this is going to be a rare item to collect, because you're going to have the, the cartridge version of King of Fighters 97, and it's going to be there in your hand and nobody can take it away from you. And because it's limited, that means when it's done, it's done. and it's going to be up there basically in your retro shop in like 20 years, 30 years time, and it's going to be, I don't know how much, but it's going to be rare. Okay, so if you're interested in investing, or you're interested in just having that thing, you know, physically, this is your opportunity to get in there. And it's another discussion about what's going to happen in the future when everything is digital, and that we have to pay continuously to access these games. Yeah, this is an opportunity to have this physical thing, and then hopefully no one can say that you know you can or you cannot play it, and you don't have to worry about it being lost or something. Well, actually you do, and that's a long discussion. But generally, there's an opportunity to have something physical, so get on that if you want it. All right. So yeah, it was a bit strange, a big discussion about 97, of course, and if you're wondering about, you know, 98 and 99 and stuff, well, remember that Hamster is publishing those in on PlayStation 4 network, so you can get access to those games, but they don't have netplay. 97 has netplay, and shout outs to Code Mystics for coding the actual rollback netcode that so many of you requested, where if you're actually going to go online and actually play it, that's going to be a different matter, but we'll see. So it's coming out, and hopefully we'll get some more people, and limited run games are interested definitely in publishing more, but we'll see what happens, because Hamster has so far the rights to, I don't know exactly the actual situation, but so far Hamster is publishing all of the kind of ports, straightforward ports of the Neo Geo catalogue. We'll see what happens with, for example, Final Edition, King of Fighters 98 Final Edition and Unlimited Match. That's going to be a different thing. I don't think Hamster's going to publish those. So if there is a port onto PlayStation 4 or Vita, that's up to SNK, so we'll see about that. Right, so more art. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Not my Leona, but damn, that looks so good. And let's see. Okay, there it is again. Another. You get to see the nice box artwork. Ooh, nice little Neo Geo style case. That's nice, and some art cards as well. That's really cool. All right, and of course, we've got to mention SNK's 40th anniversary collection now coming to PS4 as well as Switch. And of course, if you bought the game, you're going to get more games for free. They're just automatically coming into your collection. So again, another kind of weird thing about the whole online thing. It's like, is it good? Is it bad? Do we get games? Do we not get games? And if we don't buy games, when they disappear, how do we get them? Yeah. Physical, digital. Oh. It's tricky, but at any rate, right now, yeah, the SNK 40th anniversary collection is coming out, and it's got museum mode, so you get to see all the like artwork surrounding the game and sketches and kind of things in production. So if you like your old retro stuff, definitely something else to check out. All right, so go ahead, moving through Twitter. I think we're probably gonna not go on for too long. So flick through some nice artwork. Oh yes, the SNK Luna phase is coming up, and so far, because I think it was, yeah, Violent Kane couldn't make it, so they decided to run a poll to see who would be invited instead, and so far I guess Lewis Jar has won. Alright, so it's going to be good. This young lady went missing in Lyon, so if anybody's seen her, please get in touch with the Twitter address up here. Oh yeah, so when that stream was cut with the ladies, the Dead or Alive stream was cut, we actually were prevented from seeing the actual extra piece of news, which was that Mai will be back with Dead or Alive 6, plus one extra other character from the King of Fighters 14. Who do you think it will be? I'm guessing it's going to be Angel. Some other people thinking it might be Alice or whatever, or Leona. I'm not sure how Leona could work, but then again, I didn't really see how Mai could work, and they made that work pretty damn well. Also, it's possible that we could have a male character. And if you think about it, yes, Dead or Alive has male characters in it, so why not? Could be Yuri, could be Kyo, or could even be Rock, who knows? Well, so that's going to be interesting to see for you DOA fans and KOF fans who liked the inclusion of that. I still never got round to it. I really should get the core fighters and just buy mine and then that's it, be done. But, you know, busy guy. So, yep. So Evo was very interesting. And of course, we're not even at the end of Evo, and we've got this, right? Samurai Showdown is there. Pretty sure we're going to get a trailer, and people are going nuts. People are going absolutely nuts because it still has not aired. The end of King of Fighters tournament has occurred. No trailer, and people are going mad, and it's quite funny. If we are going to get a trailer, I still, you know, well, I don't know. But if we are going to get a trailer, I think for maximum exposure, it's going to be really at the end or somewhere during the Street Fighter tournament. And it's really taking the mickey, but SNK is a major, I think major sponsor of Evo. And it's going to be a blast if we do get one. And if not, well, just going to have to keep waiting. There's good old K2. Oh, such good service. Right, so there was the stand. Funny thing, if we even get that far, I'm going to mention it again, but the beer glass, the SNK beer glass sold out. What a shocker, eh? What a shocker. But that's definitely something I want to get my hands on. And it's sold out. So hopefully it'll be there when I come to Japan. So, you know. Shermie. Congrats, of course. Sorry, there's going to be a lot of Shermie on my timeline because it was her birthday. That's my favourite character, if you didn't know. And Ash is alright, yeah. Adelheid was straight afterwards, but nobody cares. Really nice person there. Found a bag of Switch games and you know, advertised for them to get it back. It's just so nice. Just people got to be nice sometimes. It's amazing. So reader stuff. I don't want my computer to slow down. Oh, you know, can't believe it. And yes, Evo stuff. Oh, that jacket is incredible. That hoodie there, and there's a really expensive jacket that's just been released. So hopefully we can get a picture of that coming up. I don't know. More Joe combos, good high score there. Let's have a look. Lots of discussion. More Shermie, awesome. Yes, good cosplayers. And SME as well. Awesome. Very nice art here. Lol. And the anguish, the pain of going through. I don't want to spoil it too much what's happened, so check out the YouTube replays if you can from the Evo official channel. Thank you, support. Yeah, what's happening? King of Dinosaurs. There's Coco-san. I think that'll be it really. Yeah, so we were discussing a lot about what was going on. Lots of Shermie. Oh, is there too much Shermie? There's never too much Shermie. Oh, I'm really sorry. Not. Is there anything else? I think. Oh, right. Yeah. So, there they are. Look at those jackets. These are ridiculously expensive. Ridiculous. It's like virtually one single ticket to Japan. It's like what, $700 for one of these jackets, and they're not even in the shop yet. Oh my days, it's ridiculous. But I wanted to mention that again, if we see the tweet, I'll bring it up. But some people I noticed in chat for the King of Fighters finals were talking about the popularity of games and looking at the number of people playing it on Steam as an indicator of whether they should play it or not. It's like, oh man, you know, King of Fighters has got like 250 players right now, and it's like, that's not very encouraging. So Street Fighter 5 has got a load more, and I'm like, if you only look at these figures as a motivation to play a game, it's like, I understand that you want to play with people, but then why should you even bother? Just go play Street Fighter. Do you really want to just play Street Fighter with people? That's it? What about all these other games that like got awesome netcode and got like characters that you like? Why would you only play the game that everyone else is playing? How do games even become popular if you only like look at the number and look at the prizes that people win and only play that game? What? That doesn't make sense. If you like a game, you play it. You shouldn't need to have to look at numbers and stuff. You know, I do understand, like, you want to find people online to fight and stuff. Okay, well then, okay, just go play Street Fighter. That's it. If that's what you want. You only want to beat up people online, and you want to have the biggest chance to find people. Okay, fine. You might find that there are certain pockets and there are certain levels of people that you're only going to continuously meet online, and you're going to be wondering, like, why am I putting up with this crappy netcode? But hey, if you want to keep looking at the numbers, go ahead. But we can tell you that there's other games out there that you might enjoy more. It might be more difficult to find people to fight, but if you stick with it, you actually help grow the player base. And when you grow the player base, you get to meet more people and fight and play games and fight. That's it. That's how it works. But you can't just always jump for the number one. It's just you gotta help. You got to help everyone else. So, you know, there's some amazing games out there. I'm not just plugging for KOF. There are other games out there. So just play what you like. Right. So, yo. So we had a really, of course, wonderful international showing at Evo again. The location wasn't really optimal, but did a good old Evo crowd with KOF, the KOF boys and girls. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Must have been a great time. And you know, beer, eating food. What else? I don't know what else to tell you, man. If you can hang out with the KOF guys at an event, I can't say no. It's just recommended. Absolutely recommended. Lovely people, lovely community. You know, you've got some bad eggs in there somewhere, but you know, that's just life. That's just the way it goes. But generally, it's a great time, and you know, gonna watch the finals and stuff. Awesome stuff. So yeah, even Limited Run Games were talking about their plans and stuff. So I think that pretty much wraps it up. Yeah, I think that's it really. So, don't want to spoil it for you, but you know, it's quite funny about the whole sexuality thing. It's like, well, okay, I don't want to put down stream. Well, okay, so we're going to put other violence and other sexy games. All right, fair enough. Whatever, dude. So that'll be it for me. You want to discuss things with people, I do suggest you be civil. Otherwise, you might not get any answers, because those are the rules of engagement. Yeah. Be nice to each other, be civil, and you might get some answers that you'll want. If you don't, you probably get ignored, and your replies get just trashed. It's fun, isn't it? So if you enjoyed that little discussion, I'm going to go do some more work on the old grammar and writing novels about the FGC. So if you like what you hear and you want to discuss more things like that, drop a note. I'll see what we can do, and hopefully you can all have a nice chit chat about it. And I'll see you guys on the next one. This is Gunny, the On Show, orochinagi.com, and I'll see you next time. How many ads today? Wow, incredible, I'll tell you, incredible. Watch out for these guys, who knows when they'll be back.